I thought they said people were gonna be here. Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. Well, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy. Welcome back, Puppet Nerds. Have I got a fun project for you today? We're gonna learn all about the ins and outs on how to perform a professional puppet for like a movie or a TV show. It's a little different than what you might expect if you've ever just played around with a puppet before, but I think you're gonna think it's really interesting. Oh, Rich, is that you?
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. I just happened to be in the area, I guess.
I'm filming a YouTube video.
Yeah, cool.
You're on my channel.
Well.
And what's this?
I was kind of hoping that, maybe you'd be willing to teach me one thing for my YouTube channel.
Sure. Yeah, I'm always up for a collaboration. This will be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do some puppets.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel too. Welcome to my channel too.
Wait, are we on your channel or are we on my channel?
I guess we're on both channels.
Well, let's do it.
So wherever you're seeing this, make sure to comment and subscribe and hit that like button.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Hi, I'm Andy Rich, and I'm here with Adam Kreutinger, the Puppet Nerd. He's agreed to show us a little bit about puppets, the world of puppets today. Why don't you take it away?
Sure, yeah. Puppetry is amazing, and I think puppetry is for everyone. And the thing that I love most about puppetry, even though a lot of people kind of look at it and think it's kind of weird for adults to be doing it, they see it as like something for kids. But my favorite example to show people is just like, look at Sesame Street. Sesame Street is a show for kids. However, if you look below the frame and any of the behind the scenes, there's no kids working on it.
That's true.
Not really. A couple of guests, of course, on the show, on the street, but it's all professional adults, professional entertainers, actors, voice actors, but that put on this sort of production for kids. So just because something's made for kids doesn't mean the art form of producing it is for kids either. So that's why I'm trying to show people on my YouTube channel how to produce their own shows.
Wait, so you're saying that if someone were to go to your channel, they could see how to make a puppet and how to be a puppeteer and how to put on a show themselves?
Yep, absolutely. That's what I cover, everything from making puppets and even building the patterns for these puppets. Because a lot of people think, they look at a puppet like this and they think that it was made from some sort of a kit or something, right? And they want to be able to make their own. There's a lot that goes into this. Everything is completely custom, from the foam inside being sculpted, the nose I vacuum formed over a buck that I made out of wood, and even the eyes are cast out of plastic.
That's actually really crazy that there's so much involved. How do you even get into this? And okay, is this what you do for a living, or is this a hobby? I don't even know anymore. It's like so much involved.
It's definitely taken over my life in a big way. As you can see, we're in a studio inside my house. It has also taken over the basement and a couple other rooms in the house. There's puppets everywhere and tools for making puppets everywhere, because it takes a lot of tools because there's so much involved from so many different disciplines of other art making techniques. Yeah, during the day, I'm an elementary school teacher. I'm an art teacher, so I teach art and I'm able to incorporate my puppets into that sometimes, which is really fun. And actually, I think of my channel as an extension of my art teaching, because really, puppetry is an art form, and I teach art at elementary school during the day, and when I get home, I teach puppetry, the art of puppetry, to the world on YouTube.
See, that's really interesting to me, because it's almost as though Adam had a job that he loved and had a hobby that he loved, and he let that hobby create a value add into his profession. And I bet that lesson plan is probably a lot more interesting than maybe some of his other peers, because of not more effort, but an integration of something that Adam loves into another thing that he loves.
Yeah, no, I think I think you nailed it. Yeah, absolutely. What I think is a lot of people, they try to focus, it's gonna sound wrong, but I think they listen to their audience too much sometimes, okay? And then you get audience capture, I call it, where, my subscribers, they subscribe to me because of ideas that I hadn't put out there. So then a lot of people start saying, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do that. And sometimes there's ideas that I like in there and I'll do it, but I try to make sure I listen to myself first, because a lot of the artists, I don't even think they always realize it, but like, you're here because of things that I created, not from things that other people told me to produce, right? I did it for like 5 years before it really started getting any traction. And that was a video a week, every week for 5 years. And then only in like the last 2 years did it actually start really doing anything. And I try not to even, I really don't care about the number. Do I notice it? Yes, it's impossible not to notice, but I really don't think too much about it. I just do things that I want to do.
So, Adam, can you show us a little bit about what goes into making a puppet?
Sure. Let me start off just showing you this guy. This is one of my favorites. This is Arlo. And everything is completely custom on him. This fur, which was slightly dyed and treated to have different textures on it. And this fleece here is also dyed. This is what a lot of professional television style puppets are made out of. The eyes are cast. Every single little thing is completely custom and handmade, every single little step. And I have this example over here, which kind of shows a little bit about what's inside them. On this one here, I made it as a display piece, half finished, half of what's inside. So you can see a lot of the foam and the sculpting that can go into it and all the different elements. This is a finished eye that's painted, that has the fleece on it, and this is a raw cast one. You can see the different types of foams that it has. And I completely make mine from scratch, including the patterning. If people are interested in learning how to make these types of puppets, I've got tons of tutorials on my YouTube channel on how to make all types of different types of puppets. However, what I wanted to actually show you today is how to perform them. Because again, you can find tons of the resources on my YouTube channel and website on how to build puppets, but I only have a couple on how to perform puppets, so I thought I'd give you a little tutorial today.
Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. So if you guys want to see how to make a puppet and what goes into it, make sure you check out Puppet Nerd on YouTube. But why don't you show us what you got to show us today?
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you the cliff notes. If you want to get deeper into it, I just finished this book this past year on called Puppetry 101, creating puppet shows for film and television, and it covers in depth into how to create your own puppet show and how to perform. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Before I put a puppet on, I just want to talk a little bit about the problems with filming puppets. Is when you're an actor in a show, it's very easy to give focus. In puppetry, we talk about focus. It's where the character is looking. I don't look out of the puppet's eyes, and I can't be in the shot. So with puppets, depending on what kind of a production it is, a lot of times they have a raised set. The set is on stilts, like 8 feet high, so they can just stand normal and perform their puppet above their heads, okay? On Sesame Street, a lot of times they do stuff on the street. They can't always raise the set, so they go way down below the frame and perform the puppets like this, okay? However, though, with this camera that's filming me right now, I can't see the shot. I can't tell. Let me see if I can try to get it. So just frame the puppet. I'm going to see if I can get him to look straight into the camera. I'm not even positive if I am.
You are, actually.
Am I actually doing it? So I'm just getting lucky then.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it'll be off a little bit like this. And that makes such a big difference between, like, if I'm talking to the camera like this, I'm looking right into the camera, it feels like I'm talking to you. But if I'm off a little bit talking like this, then it doesn't feel like I'm connecting with you at all. It's the same thing with the puppet. It being able to look dead into the camera is what makes it feel alive. Okay?
I love that puppet.
People would assume, I think, that a lot of puppeteers like look up at their puppet like this, okay? But they don't. They're staring straight down at a monitor for everything that they do. And again, this one's attached to the camera, which isn't a perfect situation, but it's great for run and gun, okay? So now if I put up my puppet, there's, being able to see that does a couple things. I can see where my puppet is looking, and I can also, the other very important thing is to make sure my head's not in the shot. You actually see that in a lot of productions that sometimes people are ducking down, you can see the top of their head. And also what it lets you do is have what we call ground, giving the puppet ground, because this puppet clearly has no legs. So I have to give the impression that the puppet is standing. Okay? And you don't want it to sink down. Sometimes people's arms get tired and it starts sinking down a little bit, or it floats too high up. And another thing is too, just to really make it feel like he's walking, right? Rather than just like sliding it across the frame. So there's a lot to think about when you're doing a puppet show.
Is that like the chopstick method?
Yeah, it's
kind of like a chopstick method. And depending on what's going on, a lot of times I'll just pin one arm here, so you can just really focus on doing one. And a lot of times I'll use a second puppeteer to do the other hand. So just right here is like a good kind of neutral position. I would go a little lower. No, with the hands. Yeah, that seems pretty good. That seems good. You know, the next thing is the lip sync. So a lot of people, generally, when you talk slowly, you do one open per syllable, like that, okay?
One open per syllable, but one open per syllable.
That's good, that's good.
Thanks.
You have a nice natural sense of this. A lot of people, what they accidentally do is what we call biting the words. They accidentally close on the words instead of opening on the words.
Oh.
Which is good. You have a nice natural sense of puppetry, which is great. But the next thing that people do a lot too is they flap the head. So and I think you may have been doing that a little bit, is they have their puppet talk like this. They have their puppet talk like this, and what happens is, because of how important the eye focus is that we talked about before, you lose the eye focus. So if he's looking at you right now and he talks, what's happening? He keeps looking up. You know?
It's like
Just like us humans, our jaws go down. So what you want to do is focus on bringing the jaw down rather than bringing the top of the head up. Just moving your thumb down is a little tricky.
Yeah, that is hard.
So what you do is you kind of push forward.
Am I doing it?
That keeps it level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it also makes it seem more like the character spitting those words out, which is really nice.
Wow!
Yeah.
This is amazing!
And like most art forms, some rules are made to be broken too, right? So like if your character is actually gonna like yell and be crazy, like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting! I lost my arm! Ah! Okay, you can. It's okay to throw the head back sometimes. I have a detachable arm for this guy because I have. He does a lot of interesting things. Yeah, so if your character's singing or yelling, la la la, you can look up for things like that. But generally, you want to keep it looking at who you're talking to. Right, Pinky?
Right.
You having a good time, Pinky?
Well, I'm having a blast.
All right, let's get you up here. Let's see if we can get you out of the shot now, too. Try framing yourself. We don't want your head in the shot. Get up as high as you can.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah. Tell me about it, buddy.
Am I in? I can't do it.
Let's test it, Pinky. Look at the camera. Good, 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 good. Look at me. Nice. What else can we do? Oh, try talking.
It's time for my close-up!
All right, let's get close up then. Go ahead. I'll get out of the shot.
I can't even do it. Wow. You know what's crazy is it's a lot easier to do it when I'm watching. Mm-hmm. Like right here I can you know. And I was even like having an easier time like controlling the hands and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the second you're like
you're
down here
removed from it.
It becomes like almost a full body thing, and it's if your hand isn't doing it naturally, it becomes a lot harder.
Hey, Rich.
I like
Nice to
that.
see you, buddy. You like
it's
that?
the whole hand. That's so weird.
I can mess up your hair.
Oh.
Take your glasses off. They look expensive.
So this is called the sack puppet. Also, some people call it the live hand puppet because it has like live hands. They're like gloves. So this is great if you're doing like cooking demonstration, if it's playing the drums, because those other puppets that have the rotted hands, they can't pick things up. To fully do this one, you actually need a second person. So put this hand, your other hand. Yep.
That's so weird.
So like when you see a character like Cookie Monster.
Oh, it only has 3 fingers.
Yeah, I do 2 in the pinky.
I do too.
Okay, good. So now I've got 2 hands, but no rhythm. So let's try to clap. See what I mean? It's hard. But you can also have the other person just do both hands. So if they have to do something really coordinated.
Okay, so just talk or something.
Me? Yeah, I can talk. I can talk all the time. I'm a cook too. This guy here, Adam, he's the worst cook in America. I mean, literally. He was on this past season, and he was the first one off, which means he's the worst cook. Hey, Ann, nice to see you again. Haven't seen you since, what was that, July? Oh, yeah. You guys didn't last very long, did ya? Nope, not at all. You should actually be down so we don't see him.
I can't tell what I'm doing with my hands. I never know what to do with my hands.
Don't use too much of this footage. This is very sloppy.
It's funny though.
Or if you do, make sure you start off using that clip so people know what to expect. I'm not using a monitor here, so I have no idea where I'm looking or what I'm doing, and these hands aren't even mine. They've got a mind of, ow! They've got a mind of their own.
Oh.
You've got a twisted mind.
I thought that it was going to be a lot easier than it was, and having a real hands-on look at that was a real treat. Thank you so much for showing me all this.
Absolutely,
and thank you so much for having me today. So if you guys want to see Adam, make sure you check out Puppet Nerd. I had a blast with this one. I really hope you did too. And if you want to see Adam back, or maybe you want to see me make a puppet and we put on a puppet show, let me know in the comments.
Make sure to get your copy of Puppetry 101 as well.
We'll see you next time.
Today's show was brought to you by the letter S. S for subscribe. Make sure to hit that button down below. We'll see you later.
That's fine.